Good evening, Slap family. Anthony Bateman Sr. from Menorah Raceway coming to you tonight. Not too much. I ended up didn't do nothing today, really. Just the usual crap. Didn't feel like great. But anyways, I did find something that happened good. I got my grinder brand new. I bought it I would have to say, time goes by so fast, probably like 2 years ago. I always borrow my baby brother's. He's what do you call it? He's an iron worker by trade. He actually used to work at a place where he used to use a really huge brake to brake radiuses for bridges. You know, that people would, not people, but like a construction outfit for a city, they'd order, you know, I-beams that they'd have to break for radiuses for bridges, that kind of stuff, and just any kind of radiuses actually. But so I went and bought my own at Harbor Freight. It's cheap. But what I had a problem with was finding these things, the cutter wheels. It comes with a grinded disc, but I didn't want to grind these off. I want to cut them off because I only have to cut the tip off the screws that protruded out of the wood I put down for my second level. I'm just gonna call it a big bridge, you know. But anyways, I didn't do crap today. Another wasted day. I actually laid down for a while, but Lord willing, tomorrow I'll be at it. Now I got this, so once I grind these off, I actually have to. I just place some of those we'll call them lollycoms underneath that second level, and wood I mounted them on, I'm gonna have to use longer pieces, and you'll see why. So my first level can run underneath that bridge, and I learned that from Clearwater 124. Except actually, I wish I used what he used. He just used wood. I had this fandangle idea using this metal. I paid $200 for that. It's like, makes no sense, but I did it. Like I told you, I had this kooky vision, and it's too late now, so I have to just complete the mission. But if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have done that. I would have did everything like I'm doing but that. And actually, if I had the money right from the very beginning, my bench work, I would have used a high-grade plywood, even for the legs, because this wood off-gases. It's got a smell to it, you know. It's fading now. Plus, this stuff gives you slivers. You know, it's made for sheathing, for buildings, or tool sheds and stuff like that, really. I mean, I see a lot of guys use it for bench work, but if I had to do it over, if I had the money, like my bench for my Omni slap box and transformers, that's a high grade. I think it's birch veneer plywood. You know, that's what I use for my top for my aquarium. After I built the bench, you know, I wanted something strong and halfway decent. But I didn't have the money, and it is what it is now. I already built this thing. But like I said, if I had to do it over again, that's what I used to. I watched this guy a railroader. It's something Milpilliard or something like that. I'm botching his name, but he's the best at making railroad bench work and sceneries. But I have to start writing stuff down. I've been saying since I joined uh, this Lot Car family, YouTube family. But he's the best, I think, by far, for bench work. He's awesome. But that's what I would have done. I like the caster things. I bought the cheapest casters. They work, you know. But anyways, now I finally found this. It's getting late now. Everybody's going to bed. My son's got to work in the morning. Excuse me. Because if that's the case, I would be grinding those things off. I'm in the mood and I'm not in the mood, and I get in the mood, I have to take advantage of it, Well, at least I found this, and tomorrow I'll use it I use these a lot when I worked in a fabrication place. Mainly the ones there where you hook an air up to them. I only use the electric ones once in a while. But I used to use a big grinder and grind big weld preps, different angles, so there are like rings, so the welders could weld them up, And then after they weld them, it would go to a VTL lathe. It's a lathe that's vertical. They're huge, enormous, almost as wide as this cellar. They're huge. Plus they're high as a house. All that. But that's before I got in the fire department, because before that I worked at a paper mill. And then before that, I was in school. I worked for a carpenter after school. These guys built houses, plus they did remodeling. I just did the remodeling with them. And then actually, I worked, my friend got me a job with this guy. I don't know if he's still alive. His name was Dave Carrington. He tore houses down. And we used to do it by hand, and he had a big, excuse me. I don't know what number it was, but it was a backhoe. It's the biggest one I ever seen. Without, and then after that, you got Caterpillar tracks. But he used that thing, That and by hand. It sucked, but it was a job. Then I got hired. I got in a factory. It was awesome. I didn't want to do carpentry no more because I got paid crap when I got in the factory. I got good health insurance. I made double the money in overtime. Anything after 40 hours was time and a half. And then if you worked the weekends, it was double time. So that was a no-brainer, really. But I'm bushed tonight. I just wanted to shoot the shit with you guys or gals tonight. I'm sorry for yawning. What? I thought about before I go to bed, but I'm so lazy right now. I have a tote on the floor full of all kinds of tools, from tools to, what's that stuff, for cleaning PVC pipe, which it leaked a little bit. It didn't get any, but I could smell it because it was tipped over. There's a bunch of, it's everything. Screwdrivers, cat's paws, paint brushes, paint rollers. You saw all kinds of stuff, the sweat pipes, torch, heads. sheetrock, because I used to do sheetrock and two on the side. That and taping, like the screen. Yeah, I got nails. There's a bunch of stuff, I have a little, I thought that was going to be big enough, but it wasn't. I bought a Husky toolbox from, Home Depot. That's not cutting the mustard. I got it. Like I showed you guys before, I have pike wrenches and even big wrenches. Shit like this. So, I got all kinds of stuff. I'm sorry for yawning, you guys. Nobody wants to watch somebody do that, but just this body's beat. I'm only 61. It's just beat. It's diabetes too, man. Today it wasn't good, but I'm all right now, just sleepy. But tomorrow too, I got this. Excuse me. Holy schmackaronios. I got this carpet here. Home Depot. It's 8x6. I don't even know if you could. Oh, wait a minute. I think maybe you can read it. I'm not sure. Where the heck is it? There it is. 8x6. I got that. I got the. It's not going to be wide enough, but it ain't going to matter because those pieces that are going to come out on either side for excuse me, guys. Oh God, for the make it 1/24 scale. I forget what you call them. That's another thing too. I gotta buy all of them that fit this layout. But the main thing, if I can get this layout together, I'm gonna love it because So tomorrow I'm going to cut those nail heads off with the grinder, like I said. I have another long piece of pine. It's probably got to be like, I don't know, maybe 40 inches by 42 inches lengthwise, because one side's got to go underneath the bridge and the other side's got to go like midway in between the track. And the reason why that is because I'm going to have a whole nother lane underneath that. We'll call it a bridge, the second level. So, and then midway, that's going to cut towards the middle on an angle to hook up. So, and then tomorrow, once I get that done, I'm going to put the track together, but not use those red locks. I use red locks in some of it, but some of it I'm not, because I have to, it makes me, I'm intimidated by it, what do you call that? Those power leads that give the track equal power. I never can remember what that's called, but you know what I mean? Got to drop it down, and then I have to label them because it's a 4-lane. So I'm going to do, so I don't screw it up, the first section, like the two lanes, I like to do that all the way around first. And then go do the second, all the way around. And then I can, as long as it's marked out, I could just leave the wires drop for now and finish the layout. But like I said, I have to, next week, I can't even use my phone. The calendar's on my phone. I just wish this phone was all right, but you can't because I'm recording it. I just gotta, I gotta get a calendar down here, and then I do have a tire clock. Just gotta put batteries in it. I ain't so freaking lazy. I ain't do that. And then, actually, tomorrow, I think 3 or 4 days this week, I wanted to pull my deck down because, like my daughter says, Dad, how you going to do it? I have to do it. Who's going to help me do it? There ain't nobody going to help me do it. I have to do shit myself. So some of the screws I'll have to, the decking I definitely have to, I have to pull all those. So I have to go around with a pillow because of my knees. I can't take that. You know, I got those artificial parts hurt. So I have to pull all those out. But before that, I have to do the railings. So the railings, what I'm going to do is take out what I can, and then I'm going to use my skill saw, and I'm going to use my Sawzall. Because if I don't have to unscrew everything, I'm not going to. I'm going to chop it up and then toss it down below. And then I got some kerosene. I'm going to use some gasoline flashes. Kerosene don't. Excuse me, I'm going to torch it. I'm going to burn up that whole deck. A whole kit and caboodle. You know, get that gone. And then underneath my deck, I have to, you know what, it just really, everybody's busy. It's hard to ask. My baby brother's usually there to help me 100%. I'll say 98% of the time. But he's got a little family himself. The guy works for the gas company. He's always outside on his feet, you know, working on shit in the street. You know, my other two brothers, one of them works for a military thing, and then the other brother, he works at it's not a paper mill, but it makes some kind of fiberboard stuff. That's like tower shift, so them guys are tired, you know. The one that works at the military thing there, he takes care of his health, takes care of his grandkids, so or else he would help me, you know. But those guys, you know, I have to just grin and bear it, you know. I mainly did shit by myself, but I wasn't sick like this before either. Foot's all twisted. I got feet like the Hobbit. But I wanted to bullshit with you guys a little bit. It helps me out mentally. But that's what my goal is. So if I tell you guys it, that's going to help me do it because I don't want you to think of a bullshitter. You know, it just takes me a little bit, that's all. A little bit. But I appreciate all you guys because you guys give me encouragement. You know? Gives me encouragement. So that's the plans tomorrow. I know a couple of days ago I said, I'm going to knock this thing out, blah, blah, blah. That shit didn't happen. Shit, I was in bed this afternoon, and then I was in a chair, and then my brother's friend and my brother, Steve, he's the next one down from me. He goes fishing at the ocean. So they were fishing for stripers, and he only got one, so he had just enough to feed his own family, but his friend gave me a whole big bag of the stuff. I'm like, this is like, by tomorrow I'll be eating 3 times off that. And I'm, you know, I fried it first. You know, I use flour, you know, seasonings, Italian breadcrumbs, even a little cornmeal, and it tasted like crap, to be honest with you. Well, but what I did was this old firefighter, he used to go deep sea fishing, used to fish for bluefish. I guess it's got a really strong taste. And he let me try it. It was freaking delicious. He baked it and he put mayonnaise on it. And I was like, gross. I couldn't taste the mayonnaise. That tastes really good. So I looked in the refrigerator. I have this honey mustard, but it's got mayonnaise in it. It's a main brand of salad dressing. You know, I can't even. Oh, Ken's house dressing. So what I did was I washed it, rinsed it off. I had no smell. This with me. When you get stuff from people from the ocean, it doesn't smell fishy. It smells just like the sea. And I used Lowry seasoning salt. I used coarse pepper, onion, garlic, paprika, and then what I did was I basted it with that honey mustard sauce, flipped it over, did the same thing. But before that, I had olive oil, but it ran out, so I used olive oil and canola oil on the bottom of a casserole. So I seasoned and put that sauce on both sides, put it down, took a little water, I would say, because I had a big casserole thing, less than a quarter of a cup of water. And then I covered it up with aluminum foil, 375. I forgot about it actually. It was like, man, I think hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. I thought it ruined it, but I didn't. And that was delicious. So I had no vegetables, which is no good. I ate that tonight. So I'll finish that up tomorrow. I still got to put it away. And tomorrow's a new day. Lord willing, we'll see what happens. But my intentions is tomorrow, like I said, to grind them nails, those screws off, tips. Finish anchoring this track down. And then measure the carpet, cut the carpet. I have electric staple gun from Home Depot. And then I'll just do that, see what happens. See how I feel. Because I have a lot of the track already, it's in sections, it's just taken down. So I'll probably run the vacuum cleaner good because it's, dust gets everywhere. And then, but then I'll go from there. I don't feel this arthritis is like really, that's like really beating me up bad. From my fingers to my wrists. Shoulders ain't too bad tonight. My feet all the time. Burning. Hurting, burning. My knees, not bad because I'm not standing there. But anyway, Slot family, I'm not going to keep bullshitting you. I don't want to bore you. But that's what's going on, The thing is, I could always come downstairs because I'm up all the time peeing. I took my medicine late tonight, so, but let me see if I can show you this. I have, I'm just going to see if this works. That tote right there and all that shit on the floor. I have a toolbox that's over there. I don't know if you can, I have like cardboards down on the bottom. I have a kerosene lamp on top of everything, actually. So, I don't know if you guys could see that, but if I can get some of this shit up, and then that tool shot's really going to open it up down here. And then if I get that toolbox too, it's the only thing is if I do build that pool table, it's gonna be still, it's gonna look nice and neat, but it's still gonna be not that much room. Of course I'll have pretty good room walking down this way. That side of the wall's always tight. That's forever always. I can pull it back this way maybe 4 more inches. So there'll be more room there, but nobody's as big as me anyways. It's going to be down. Maybe one guy close. Other than that, everybody's not this big. You know. So we'll see what happens. But who gave me a good idea too, because I thought the upper level's too high, but it really isn't. And Harry from Lafayette. Thanks, Harry. He said if it's up, don't lower it, because the way it is now, it's easy for me to marshal, which is totally true. Because those curves that's going to be zigzagging out, I'm sure cars are going to, so people learn it down there, they're going to come off the track. So but once it gets done, it's just, the thing is, if I had all the other tracks, I think they're 230s, you know. If I changed the layout out, I probably, and didn't put those switch lanes in, I probably have enough to finish it off, but it's not where it's not where I envisioned, you know. So, like one of my friends, Mike, he said, you know, he lives quite a ways from me now. He used to come here every week, but now he's moved. But he said, Tony, he goes, why don't you just build it? Because he goes, if it'll bother you, if you don't, and you can always pull it down and save the track in case you ever want to do it over again. Which I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to, because it's so big, and there's turns, and there's enough straightaways, I don't believe I'll get bored with it, you know, but just, I see guys are littler tracks, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if I went that way, it'd have been done already, but I wanted to do my own thing, not to be better than anybody else, none of that BS, just as something I wanted to build. What I really wanted to do was the guy from the Lunch King, Jimmy, I always forget his last name, but I did want to copy his whole track. I really did. I love his track. I think it's the best, but it would take up too much room in myself. It would take up too much. I wouldn't be able to marshal it right. This way I can marshal it. Granted, you know, I got to walk. I got where the stairs are, I have to walk around. Big deal. And then that wall, the north side wall, I could walk the full length. I just got to be careful of a pipe that intrudes out, you know. And then I got the fish tank, you know, but I love my fish tank. So, but, you know, when I talk to you guys, I already feel better. Before that, I was on the depressed mode. I don't like to feel depressed. And I do, you know. I started thinking about my wife and I think about all my friends. I mean, Johnny Walker, him and I, it was like how when you're kids, you have this buddy. I was like that. Because my wife didn't mind, she never blew me shit, and his girlfriend never blew him shit. It's just they respected us guys, you know. Just, and you know, and they knew where we were. We weren't doing nothing wrong. We were either at each other's house, or walking the track, or looking at, him and I used to like going looking at, we're both into stereo stuff, high-end, the old stuff. Like from late 60s to 70s, all 70s, 80s, 90s, mainly 80s, you know. Now, I can't say 90. So, but guys, I think that's enough me bullshitting tonight. I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but my father got me this. I have two of them. They're Lafayette, Channel A and Channel B. They're metal. They're like out of this aluminum polished pot metal stuff. It has a painted, like a coated back to it. Just the knob's gone, but the antenna's still there. And it also has crystals you can put in it. You know, I don't even know. I'm trying to open it up with my thumbnail. I don't even know if you can get this stuff anymore. When Radio Shack was there, you could, but that's another thing. I loved Radio Shack, and then nobody does this stuff. Oh, like all the old timers are dead. So none of these guys don't do nothing. Well, how I got this, my friends are older than me, so they used to go around, and then one of the guys had a bass up in his house. And see how cool that is? That battery, thank God it's not, it's dead, but it didn't. If it leaked battery acid, I'd be crying. I should take it out of there, because that's been in there for a long time now. It didn't leak any acid. My dad got me these. I was in the 3rd grade. He said, if you do good at school, which I academically, I wasn't good. I had a hard time. But anyways, not getting in trouble, just reading in the whole shooting match. But here's these crystals. You plug in for different channels. Well, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Here, I gotta put my glasses on so I don't wreck this. But imagine how long I had these for. I have this, you know, I never broke my stuff. My mother would throw my shit out because if it wasn't put away, if you don't pick your stuff up, it's gone. Which really sucked. But this is Channel 9, and back then, I don't know about now, but Channel 9 was emergency channel, and we had these guys, civil defense, when they actually they had a thing where they could find out where you were using your radio, and I would get scared, you know. But back then it was fun, because I'd sit up in my room and listen to the older guys all talk. And then what stunk is when they got different crystals and changed the channel, I was like a fish out of water. I would hear other guys talking once in a while, but they didn't use Channel 9. And you know, my father, he wouldn't, I don't know, he bought me these walkie-talkies and he would never get the other crystals. So then, eventually I'd go beyond there, my brothers and I'd be talking, and these old guys would say, this is emergency channel, you gotta get off there. So we would get scared, we'd stand there a little bit, and then all of a sudden, and then we see one of the cars go up and down. So you know what, then we just didn't do it. But it was fun. But just think, I was in the 3rd grade, and I'm 61 right now. And my school teacher's name was Mrs. Oakley. Another thing I got is a hand grenade, a pineapple hand grenade. My godfather was in World War II. He was in the Marine Corps, overseas. But anyways, he gave that to me, but it was a dummy one. But I brought it to school, and the teacher said, "Where'd you get that?" And I told them. They called the National Guard up. That's right up the street from my house. They come in grilling me. I was only a little kid. I was in second grade. I was crying. I was in the principal's office, and then I told him his name, Art Parkins, and anyways, they got a hold of him. They got a hold of my parents, and then it's a fiasco, and then they gave it back to me because there was nothing in it, but just scared me like that, That was gross. That wasn't cool. So that I got that still, and then I also have my grandmother gave me. I was actually in the third grade. So no, maybe fourth grade. No, I was in the fourth grade. A magnifying glass. Okay, I used to get permission to use hers, and she goes, "You know what, Buster? I don't want you to break it because my grandmother used it for reading." So she bought me one. It's got a leather little pouchy thing for it. I still have it. That means more to me than all this shit down here. And I also have, that was my grandfather's, was a shot glass. It was, I had the General Electric, I don't know if you call it a mascot. It was like a little man with a light bulb for a nose. And a frosted glass. And I still have that. My grandmother gave that to me when I was little too. Along with my father's brother was in the Korean War. He was in the Air Force. But my brother Steve has those. But they were given to me. I had stuff that was my grandfather's that I don't have it no more. But I'm not going to cause any trouble. That's the memory I still have. So, But anyway, Slot family, I'll let you guys go. But I feel better. I get out of the funk when I talk to you guys. So anyways, I love you guys. All of yous. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get something done. Tomorrow, Lord willing's a new day. I have to go day by day. It's all I can do. I can only do what I can do. Where before I was used to doing a lot, One time I sold and then I'll let you go. I sold a car that we had it for so many months, but the roof started leaking. So I sold the car, bought all the roofing stuff. I bought the wood, the plywood, all the stuff I needed. The tar paper, the shingles, of course, flashing, nails. I bought like a box of nails, actually. And then I built staging all the way across the house, and then I took it down to go over the other side. But I did that shit every day after work. I thought when I first stripped the roof off, I stripped off probably like 2.5 feet all the way down. I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown. And there was shingles and 3 roofs on this house. That was gross. I didn't have a dumpster. I went without a car for a long time after that. So you do what you gotta do, but I'm burned out now. The last time I had my roof done, I had professional guys do it. They did my roof. Only took them probably a whole day to strip everything, because when I put it on, there was only one roof on here. But I didn't do a good job, to be honest with you. But these guys did. So there was a bunch of guys. They had their own dump truck, and they had a ladder with a lift on it, and they must have been like, I would say 8 guys working on this roof. Like in one day, stripped. The second day it was done. Crazy. Or it took me months actually. My, uh, one time it was a bad thunder and lightning storm, and the tar paper blew off. I had to call my brother up. It was like near 3 in the morning, somewhere's around there. I mean, really bad lightning, and I had to go up on the roof. I slipped. I grabbed the vent pipe, but eventually my pants were soaked and I was stuck to the roof. So I had to patch with a ruin my ceilings. I made my son's closet full of mildew, where I should have gut. One of the closets I partially gutted, but I should have gutted it all because that smell wasn't safe. Well, anyways, that's about it. So I love you, so family, and hopefully I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you all be safe. Have a good night. Be good and love one another. And till next time, peace out.